Hi, sweetheart. What are you doing, huh? Oh, cinnamon. Cinnamon. Move, sweetheart. Cinnamon, you gotta fucking move. Come on. Get down. There you go. Cinnamon, fucking move.
Hey dude, how's it going?
Yo. I'm rank 16 right now.
I'm not Iron Man.
Yeah.
What level's that?
27. And in 3 more levels, I'll be able to skip out to Burning Crusade.
Oh wow. You could go there anyway though, couldn't you?
Too early. And it's starting to get like a little serious where this white gear is literally having no effect on uh, my performance. So I have to pull mobs one at a time. As each time they hit me, they're taking out like 6% of my health.
Yeah, it has no secondary stats.
Yeah, there's very little mitigation, so I've been going a lot of defensive and it's just taking my time. Oh shit. I almost got in trouble at one point in Stranglethorn Vale. I fucking came across a couple areas where I was just like, wow, there's usually a lot more mobs here. And so I started tanking the ones that I needed to kill, and then respawns happened all around me, and I was like, I am so fucked, I am so fucked, I am so fucked.
Somebody went through before you.
Yeah, someone came through. And I think I have an idea who, because they were just an OP, like, you know, like a level 70 character just trying to farm the quests out there. Because as I was running back to the base, I found an Alliance character that was literally just walking through mobs and one-shotting them. So I was like, that must have been the guy. Goes without saying, this has been an interesting run so far. It's a lot better now that I have Skull Bash. Because when when I was telling you I got in trouble, right? I had to fight two healers at one time. And it was a long fight because they just kept healing each other. And I was like, this has to stop. Shit. Shit. Sorry. Ugh. The Muffin Man? I have to decline.
Yeah,
Sorry.
down on Drury Road.
I know, right? Yeah, someone's inviting me to the guild. Let's see if someone's on that can invite me into the guild. Nope. Guess I'll just have to wait. What about you, man? What are you working on?
I think I just finished all the quests in Zerla Caverns. All the regular quests, I think.
Oh,
So now I'm going to Mechagon, knock out my dailies there. And then, I don't know, maybe get into some keys maybe. Not really feeling like working on alts right now. I sure don't want to. I want to wait for the skips for Zero at Caverns this time. I'm tired of running out, repeating everything.
Oh.
You know, I just want to do it on the character. So I think after this, I'll probably go. I still haven't finished up all the quests on Forbidden Reach, so I want to take care of them, all the quests like I used to do. Get my renowns up. I can't continue the storyline until I get certain renowns up. Are you at that spot?
Uh, yeah. I think I got a couple more things to do, but I'm super low on rep anyways, so it's like a lot of the shit I have to do is rep catch up. So today when I was on earlier, it was a matter of taking care of the quests that were in my log that rewarded rep, and then if I was in the area and I picked up a quest that rewarded rep, god damn it, I just kind of did them.
Well, I've been saving all those cavern rep tokens, so I got to go buy Darkroom Fair too, and then use them all. And if you're wondering why I'm still in Mechagon, it's because I have two more achievements I got to get so I can get the title Junkyard.
Huh.
Then I think after that, I'm probably going to go to Nazdatar and start working on the crab. I really like that crab.
I do too. It's fun.
I could never get into working them Nazdatar things though, because I was pretty much into working Mechagon at the same time. It's the same expansion, so
Yeah, I don't really blame you. It's long, and there's a lot of stuff that out there that'll help you. Um, Mostly the important one that I think I fell on was the rare tracker. There was a couple that, no matter where I was, a couple of those achievements took the entire time to complete. You know what I mean? Like, and then there was a few. It was kind of like it only took a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks to complete.
well, geez, dude, for all the time that I did work on that when it was current, um, my my like friends, they're not over level 3. It's fucking bullshit.
Level 3? Level 3 what?
You know how you got to get those you got those 3 friends you pick from each day in Nazdatar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one literally took 3 months.
yeah, I know it does. Yep, and consistently every day
Yeah.
or every week or something. There was some cap on what you could do. I think I don't remember, and that's cool. I mean, you toughed it out and got it, and maybe I'll be able to make the grind too and get it. But I mean, you got it already. That's great.
Yeah, well, I think the friends one was definitely one of the ones that took a long time. The rares, I think, took the entire time. That's the one I just kept working on, I think, consistently. And then there was the puzzle ones. You had to wait for the each week for the puzzles. And then there's another one where you had to go in and do like an arcane frost earth configuration to pull up a specific mob and then just like knock those out each week.
Ooh,
That, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
it's just
hey, Arsis, you sound good. You feeling better?
no, my throat still feels bad, but I've been drinking tea all day, so my throat's slightly better. But at least I don't sound like a teenage boy in puberty anymore.
Is it a bruise?
No, I'm sick.
That's just a bad joke. You
I
got
don't understand.
you got a bruise in the back of your throat?
No, but I
Oh,
do
uh,
burn it sometimes.
a Wes inflicted bruise. Just I don't know. I'm just being naughty. I'm just
I don't know. I mean, is that how bruises usually happen?
in the back of your throat. Yeah.
I don't know. You can tell me from experience.
actually, I read an article once about that from a doctor that that specialized in those kind of injuries. And yes, it does happen quite often.
Yeah, okay.
You have something in
I
there
was
poking
trying
at
to
your
imply that
tonsils.
Meggz has had one in his mouth.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what the joke was.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm feeling slightly better, but I did make the spaghetti tonight. Apparently, I put too much pepper in it, and I don't taste it because one, I don't feel good, so I don't smell it, and I don't taste it, and two, I usually eat spicy food anyway, so it's not spicy to me. And according to Wes and Kid One and Kid Two, it's too spicy, so I added a whole bunch of cheese to it to dilute it. And then Kid One's like, it's fine, and he ate 3 bowls of spaghetti tonight.
Pepper cheese, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't usually
Parmesan
put a lot
cheese.
of cheese in my spaghetti, but I mean, if it's spicy, then, it'll coat it, right? And then you won't taste the pepper anymore.
Yeah, if you put Parmesan cheese in there, it'll smooth it all
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, the alternative is I can add milk to it and make it more like, Alfredo tomato sauce, which is usually like what they make in a lot of Hong Kong cafe style
Alfredo
pasta
is
sauce.
good.
Yeah, but think of it this way: it's a creamy tomato sauce is what they usually put on like their tomato
I
pastas.
think there's no tomato in Alfredo.
No, there isn't. But this is Hong Kong food, so it's literally Chinese food.
Hong
But Hong
Kong
Kong.
foodie?
Hong Kong food is different from Chinese food. That's because it's influenced by British colonialism. Because Britain owned Hong Kong for like 200 years. Yeah, it's like how you think curry and you're like Japanese curry, Indian curry, and I'm like, you do know that
There's a huge difference.
no. You do know that there's also British curry, right?
No.
Because,
Oh, you gotta be
they
fucking
they
kidding
they,
me. Hold on,
they
hold on.
colonized. Okay, go ahead.
I
He's
found a
dying.
I found a caster that could fucking shoot through walls.
Oh yeah, that was a problem back when Grim Batal was a thing. That was a really big problem.
Yeah.
Anyways, so keep in mind that Britain colonized India for 100 years, and the funny thing about that is because when Great Britain colonized India, they said we're just gonna be here for 100 years and then they will leave. Guess what happened?
They never left.
No, they stayed there for 100 years and then they left.
out.
I'm not kidding. That's exactly what happened.
Good.
You say that, but then that's also why when you go, they have British curry. So you have to keep in mind that when it's been in their history since like the 1800s. How long does it need to be in their culture for it to be considered a part of their culture?
I don't know. The
Because keep in
British-
mind, the United States has only been around since 1776, so American food technically has only been around for a couple hundred years itself.
Yeah, America doesn't have any culture.
You guys have American food. Do you know that if you go to Europe, they have an American aisle? You guys have a Mexican aisle, you have a Chinese aisle. They have an American aisle with American food in it.
Yep, I believe it.
So just keep in mind that you're gonna go, what the heck is American food? Well, they have things like that marshmallow spread that you guys have in the United States,
That's good stuff.
for
Not
example.
good for you,
Right?
but it's good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like the things that you don't think about as American food, they consider American food, is what I'm saying. So, for example, Salisbury steak is American. Casseroles are strictly American. Okay, that's American food that was created in the United States. And let's see, other things. Just off the top of my head, the things that I can count. Peanut butter and jelly. That's American. Yeah, they did not have that before they went to the Americas, and that's just because, as you know, very famous part of American history, peanut butter was created by an American.
I didn't know that. I love peanut butter.
And we're still thankful for it.
So peanut butter would be considered an American food. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Like grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is an American food. That's something invented in the United States. Let's see. Stromboli. Stromboli is American. That's not Italian. Calzones are Italian, but Stromboli is from New York. So that's American food.
Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like the things that you don't think about because you're living in the United States, but like to other people, it's exotic food.
French toast.
Fortune cookies. That was made in the United States.
Yeah, that's American food.
They'll never see me coming.
So, like I said, my hobby is food. So, I can list out a whole bunch of stuff that's literally it's made in the United States, and so other people don't eat this stuff in other countries. So, it's exotic. You go to like they have like a croque monsieur in France, but it's not a grilled cheese, right? It's a grilled cheese with ham in it.
I just almost walked right up to King Bangladesh. Let me see here.
And almost killed yourself?
No.
I mean, you're in Stranglethorn Vale.
Yeah, Bangladesh. No, he's Oh, shit.
Are you farming something? Are
No.
you exploring the vanilla zone? Oh, okay. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm making way, but I'm not ready to kill this guy. He's got 3,000 health. I've only got 2,500. I might be able to do it. I should be able to do it. But I'm not just gonna kill him on a whim. I'm trying to grab these Elder Stranglethorn tigers. And I got pounced by Shadow Panthers. See, I forgot that the fucking Panthers are all stealthies, so they've been coming out of the woodworks.
Well, don't forget that Dark Moon Fair is due to start sometime tonight. It's gonna start at 3 a.m. for me, so 6 a.m. for you. So by the time you wake up, it'll be up.
Yeah. I remember.
Okay, just double checking in case you wanna get that extra 10% in loam or whatever it is. Reputation is down here in the caves.
I was just telling Meggz about that earlier. Or since I'm ready, I have like 6 or 7 tokens to turn in.
Oh, and did you tell him about the crest thing?
No.
Okay, so Meggz, in loan, there is a lady that will you can trade the crests with her. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's because it's a trap. It doesn't upgrade your crest. It downgrades your crest. So instead of being able to upgrade, let's say, your gear from 411 to 424, you're gonna end up making your crest the Whelpling crest, and it upgrades from 398, I think, to 411. So you're going to literally screw yourself over. So don't do it. Don't trade any crests in, okay?
Okay.
I don't think there's a way to upgrade your crest right now. It's just downgrading. You know that weapon I got on Tuesday? Anyways, from doing the 5 heroic dungeons, I upgraded that all the way up to 424, and now I need the worm crest, which is out of 11 and up for dungeons. But the new season hasn't started yet. And so I'm just saying that save your Drake crest, because you're going to need that to upgrade that thing. And any dungeons that we do up to 11, that gear will require.
Did you get your other splinter yet?
Am I what?
Did you get your other splinter yet?
And no, I'm waiting for Dark Moon Fair so I can get the extra rep from turning it in.
No. The unified quest.
Yeah, I'm not turning any of those in yet because I want to make sure that I get that stuff done.
Oh. But you got the other piece? You got the piece that, okay.
I have half, and then I'm waiting for it to get the full splinter. So it's not gonna make a difference. It's the same week.
What are you gonna upgrade with it?
I have my ring for the jewel crafting ring that I've been wearing all season. So that's probably what I'm gonna upgrade since it is my best in slot ring.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's weird. They kind of changed the crafted items for the second season now.
I don't understand. What did they do?
Okay, I don't know. I'll have to. It was like I couldn't upgrade the leather wrists that I had made, but I could upgrade the head that I made.
Huh. Well, for my ring, I'm showing that there's a slot for me to put the spark.
Oh, and I know. So I went to look at the road gear for next season, and I was going over the crafted stuff, and like the bracers aren't even available in season 2 that I can make in leatherworking or that I can get through leatherworking.
Well, the ones for jewel crafting are already up on the auction house because it's not soulbound and people have been buying up the chest to get the drops. And so remember, you can buy the chest with honor, right? Or did they remove that? I'm assuming that's still there.
You can. What chest? I know that there's some new
Okay,
things.
you know how you get a green chest?
You can buy chests of gear, conquest, or honor, and send to your alternate.
Yes, but you know how you get a green chest at the end of Battlegrounds, and you open it and it has the chance to drop the patterns and stuff in there?
Yeah.
And
that's already, yeah. Okay, I got you now.
During the last season, you could buy that specific chest from the honor vendor, and I don't know if that's still there. I haven't double checked.
Yeah, I think it is. But
so that's why people are
how like the PvP stuff, and crafted stuff is already like you could already upgrade your gear to 424, right? Well, I guess that's mythic item level, isn't it? From this past
Well, keep in mind that 424 should be, I think, a 10 because according to
424 was, how could you get 424 gear in season 1? By doing
424 gear was out of 20, wasn't it?
Was it 420 or 424 out of Mythic grade? No, it was 424
Yeah.
because in PvP, yeah, the
In other
if
words,
you
out
go
of a
for
20.
it
20 mythic
was
dungeon.
what?
20 mythic dungeon.
Oh, I don't know. Is it? I've never done it.
Oh, Meggz would know. But the thing is that, keep in mind, they're booting down mythic dungeons by 10 eye levels. So the fact that I can get a 424, which is the equivalent of a new 10, and that makes sense because it's the old 20.
Yeah, they've already boosted the dungeons.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I can upgrade all my sword up to 424. I can still upgrade it, but I need the crest that drops out of 11 and up, which means that I've literally upgraded my sword up to a 10 equivalent, which means that, if you're booting down dungeons by 10 levels, that means it's the old 20 eye level, which is
Yeah, but all
424
all I'm saying is that for the
by
past
logic.
4 or 5 months, 424 gear has been available. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it has. It's just you need to be able to run the really, really, really hard stuff. Which, I have no interest in because I don't have that kind of time to bang my head against it because the kids make me sick every few months.
Mhm.
And for normal
Like,
people,
do you have kids?
it's a minor inconvenience, but there's a reason why I call them permanent debuffs. Okay, and I have sinus issues, so when I get sick, I'm incapacitated if it's going to be, like a head sort of thing.
I love that. It says permanent debuffs.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
call them
kids are.
permanent debuffs. I got the mom title. It comes with permanent debuffs.
That's so funny.
Hey, Nolo.
What?
Ding.
What does that mean?
He leveled.
So you're 24?
28.
It says he's 28.
Oh, 28.
And then, so I talk about that all the time, and I make the joke. People don't really get it. I'm like, I have permanent debuffs. They never go away. Never.
You gotta be a gamer to get that one.
Well, the thing is, when you talk to people, like Americans especially, they're like, it's only until they're 18. I'm like, no, I'm Asian. You're their parent forever. Even Megg's mom is still taking care of him periodically. She checks in on him, right?
Dude.
And makes him food and things like that. She does mom things.
And it's strong.
Yeah, it's a mom thing. Like it's an
Her
Asian thing, and
her
you don't get
mom
rid of your
foo
kid.
is strong.
Man, I was doing the mom thing with the kids earlier, and they're like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, I have eyeballs."
Would you call it mom food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you know when you get the mom title, you automatically get your
Duh.
mom superpowers? You get your mom senses. You get the eyeballs on the back of your head. You get all that stuff.
So remember, did I tell you like kind of my itinerary today? Right, was to get my dog's nails clipped, get an oil change, and fix my neighbor's gutter and stuff. Right.
Hey, how you doing?
So
Be good.
I went.
You would
Have
get
a
off
good
the
one.
gutter till tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Be good.
I woke up early this morning and
Hey,
I
for
went
real.
next door and I started
Be good.
taking a look at their gutter, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with it, why is it leaking so bad and stuff like that. And I had discovered that it is full of um, asphalt from the shingles on their roofing. Like literally, the gutters are full. So the gutters were overflowing with water almost as soon as you put water in it. So I was like, this is an easy fix. All you have to do is get it cleaned. So I was like, I can't clean it right now. I was like, I don't have the tools to run fucking 80 feet of gutter that's uh, uh, installed on an underhang, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, right? And so my mom has been bugging me about this whole project. So I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to fucking call it a day. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go to bed and fucking try and get some more sleep. Called mom, told her the news, and she's like, oh, great. Well, since you have some more time, here's a couple other chores I thought of that you should do for me. And I was like, no, 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 I'm not don't want to do it. Now she wants me, and I gotta fix my yard before my mom starts planting this gnarly garden.
In your yard?
Yeah, in my yard. She's expanded her garden into my yard.
Okay. Well, she wants your house to look nice.
No,
As
she
long as she's gonna do all the work.
her hobby is gardening, and since her yard, her own yard, is too
And I'm
small.
gonna say, as long as she's okay with doing all the work.
Nope.
Like, she doesn't expect you to do any of the work, that's fine. If she expected you to do the work, I'm gonna say you should put cacti in there and other succulents, because you would never have to mow it. You don't have to water it, because it's literally, you know, like it thrives on having no water. You're in a hot area, you're never gonna end up burning it out. When you're in a drought, and when there's a heat wave, you'll be the only one with a green lawn.
No.
Replace all the grass with succulents.
Whew.
I've had someone do that before. Their lawn is nice, and you know, like you can put different kinds in there, so it's going to be varied and it's going to be interesting. And when people walk by, but it's going to be green all the time,
I'm just
and
gonna
so you
s-
don't have to worry
I'm just
about
gonna
watering
saturate
it,
the
taking care
garden
of
with
it.
gasoline. I don't know what's wrong with the plants. I don't know why they don't grow, Mom. Huh? It's a
You
mystery
know
to
what a
me.
succulent is. Just tell her that you want succulents in your front yard.
No, she's already planted flowers in the
Ugh.
area that I had already planned on
Yeah,
landscaping.
see, Wes is the flower guy. He likes flowers. So I told him he can plant the flowers. I have very specific flowers I want. He didn't plant any of those. I want things like daffodils and tulips and, you know, things that have a bulb, so I never ever have to replant it ever.
What you don't
It just
understand,
grows back on its
Arsis,
own.
Arsis, what you don't understand is that when you know, got to this place, the lawn is in a state of disrepair. Let's put it that way.
You know
Okay.
what Wes put in my front yard?
Hold on, hold on, hold
Roses.
on. This yard is in a state of disrepair, and I've already made it
I'm
known that
imagining
I
dogs have dug all over and you have holes all over your yards, so you have to explain the state of disrepair to me.
it's just uneven. It's full of rocks. It's got weeds. The planter boxes are 20 years old, so they're rotten, falling apart. They barely hold any dirt. They need to be rebuilt, so to speak. Okay. And I already told my mom, I says, before you start doing anything, I'm going to rebuild the yard. I'm going to go front to back, rebuild the
She
planter
didn't let you,
boxes.
huh?
No, she just started planting right on top of it. She's like, fuck it. Dirt's here, fucking seeds. And now she's got plants growing on in my yard, which makes it very difficult for me to landscape and rebuild.
Does she know the definition of trespassing?
Yeah, it's her.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't think that
She knows
applies
you're
here.
adult, right?
She's gonna overrule that. I'll be like, Mom, you're trespassing. She's like, nope.
Yeah, this is why I taught the kids about being respectful and understanding people's personal space and being reasonable and learning to compromise and being patient. Those are like all the things I've been teaching the kids. Because Wes keeps trying to, you can say, intervene when they have arguments. I'm like, no, they can handle it. As long as they're not going into a fist fight or something, and it's just like, hey, you know, I don't like this, or hey, you know, like a short shout and stuff like that, I'm not gonna intervene. But if it's full on yelling, then yeah, I'm gonna intervene. But you know, they can handle all that stuff on their own. It's usually like maybe 2 seconds of like a yell, and then you know they complain to each other, and then they're done. That's it. You know, like an adult, right? Like that's expected. But
No,
you know, like
adults fist fight.
yeah,
It's
well,
just the
for one,
loser that likes to sue.
I let kid one know that he shouldn't fight with his sister because his sister's a girl, and if you fight with a girl, you'll always lose. Good lesson, right? He's a boy, so he's always gonna lose. If you win, you beat up a girl. That makes you the bad guy. If you lose, you just got beaten up by a girl.
Good philosophy, Arthur.
Yeah, so the philosophy is don't lose.
So, no, don't fight with girls.
No, learn how to fight. That's the lesson.
No, learn to walk away because girls are crazy and it's easier for him to not
Then,
deal with crazy
so,
people.
Janet, would you be proud to say that you beat up a girl?
Yeah,
I mean,
especially if she
it
egged
depends
it
on the
on.
girl. If she's an MMA champion, then
Yeah,
sure.
I've
But
I've had my nose
normal
broken by a
girls,
girl. I don't underestimate them.
if she throws a punch at you first, then yeah, beat her up. But if it's just a normal argument, he needs to learn to walk away because he's not going to win that fight.
The thing is, you can argue and argue
It
and
depends on what it
argue,
is.
right? Here, hold on. You argue and argue and argue
Go ahead.
until the fist starts flying. Now, I'm not the one to throw the first punch,
Yeah,
but
she's going to throw the first
as
punch.
soon as the first punches start throwing, it's all bets are off. I don't
That's
care.
self-defense.
Yeah,
So that's what I taught Kid One. If she starts yelling at him, I taught him to walk away. If she follows him, I tell him to use his words. If she follows him again, beat her up. That's what I told him. You gave her enough chances. You gave her 2. That's more than enough. Now she's crazy. Now it's self-defense.
yeah.
Because I told him that girls can get crazy. And I told him, he's like, girls in my class aren't crazy. I'm like, they're not crazy right now. But when they get their boobs, half the girls in your class are going to end up crazy. And you won't know which ones are. He's like, I'm just gonna ask them if they're crazy. He
You
literally
know,
told me. He said, I'm gonna ask
Nolo,
them, are you crazy?
one of my
Yeah.
one of
Ooh,
my
he touched
famous
that.
one of my famous mottos that I quote almost every day, especially to a professor friend of mine, okay, is inspire hearts and minds. Okay, inspire hearts and minds. That also means that if you can win an argument, or you know, if you can win an argument through conversation and negotiation,
Girl turn.
that is an insane that is a really good fight. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna start throwing
100%.
punches, you better know how to fight. Because I have literally told people who've wanted to go blows with me. They didn't want to argue it out. They wanted to go fight, and I'm like, dude, I came here to talk. But if you want to fight, I can do that too. So, I've always
I also
given them
told
the
Kid One
option.
that don't throw any punches unless unless you can take the hit because they're gonna punch back.
Right. So,
So
argue until you're blue in the face. Sometimes you can change a person's opinion. Hell, my opinion can even be changed. But it's got to be a damn good argument, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I win every argument, but
like he's in this boy testosterone filled adolescent boy phase. So I told him that if he wants to throw punches, go ahead. But I'm gonna punch back. And if you're gonna throw a punch, expect to be punched. That's how it works. I've punched him before and he did not like it.
yeah, it's
Not a real punch. It's, a kid punch. But it hurt and he did not like it. He cried. I told him in that case, don't punch me. And yeah, simple as that. Also let him know that words have power. And the thing is that if, let's say, a girl starts going crazy at you and yelling at you and stuff like that, apologize. It doesn't matter if you were right or wrong, apologize. Because now she's the bad guy for continuing to yell at you after you apologized. But if you keep saying, I didn't do it, or denying it and all that stuff, now you're the bad guy because you're saying that she's lying. And public opinion is more important than being right. This kind of stuff that ends up on social media.
I think Dark Moon Fair starts in 4 hours.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 a.m. for me, so yeah, 3 hours. 6 a.m. for like Meggz, I think. Yeah.
got me.
6 a.m. I'm ahead of you, right? Wait, no, midnight for you.
Well,
Hey,
Midnight.
so
I'm doing
Nolo,
backwards.
do you think that the Dark Moon Fair buff would disqualify me?
For what? Well, check the thing.
I
It should
do
say.
think, yeah, it's probably not even
You said
available.
you said that
I
it's
don't
only
know.
with your own buffs, right? And Dark Moon Fair is not a part of your own buff. That's the thing.
No, but
Yeah.
it has a very detailed list of exclusions and disqualifiers.
Oh, okay. Well, check it.
It's just
Look at
rep
the list.
buff, so probably not.
No, it's also a 10% XP buff.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that'd be worth checking out.
See, and you're allowed war mode.
Yeah, that's 10%.
Yeah, but that's permanent. You have to do the whole thing in war mode, right? So,
No,
oh, you didn't swap that on and off?
You just can't have any PvP talents.
if if you die, you die. Yeah, and you can't have any PvP talents.
Well, I would consult it.
Well, I can investigate. That's
Go
It
and
not a
says
problem.
I
go
don't
to a
know if
safe
there's
place
a
and check
way
now before it
to
starts.
tell if you like turn war mode on or off. Actually,
I thought that when you said you could do it in war mode, that you would have to do the whole thing in war mode.
but
Not,
I don't think that there's a way to tell how if you turn it on or off. There's a way to tell if you turn it on because you get I think you get an achievement for that. But then after that, they don't keep it doesn't keep track anything.
figures.
Anyways, I let him know that, you know, when he gets older, he's gonna have, let's say there's gonna be like one really, really hot girl that he likes, and he's gonna go and he's gonna ask her if she'll be his girlfriend, and she's gonna say no. But there will be 10 average looking girls that's he might like, and he'll ask them to be his girlfriend, and they're gonna say no. And then you're gonna have 100 ugly girls, but they're nice, and so they're potentially, you know, good girlfriends, but half of them are gonna be crazy. And he won't know which ones are crazy. So, he told me that he'll ask them. He said, I'll ask them if they're crazy. Like, are you crazy? And I'm like, you can't do that, because if you ask them if they're crazy, they'll become crazy.
No.
Can you imagine if you did that to a girl? Hey, are you crazy? Like,
Yeah,
don't
but
do
the
it. You
thing
can't
is,
ask them.
if they say that they aren't crazy, they could still be crazy.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Like, if you ask them, they'll become crazy. So there's no point, right? As soon as you need to ask, they're crazy. People always like, oh, no, there's no, because I'm always like this. You get crazy ex-girlfriend stories, and then you don't hear about crazy ex-boyfriend stories because they don't exist. And then girls are like, yes, they do, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. Think about it. Guys are gonna try and kill you. Okay, that's not crazy in the same way that guys are talking about. That is a psychotic murderer, and murderers come in female forms too. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the one girl that's going to feed you poop in your macaroni and cheese.
I don't even know how we got onto this conversation.
That's whoa.
I'm just saying that's some crazy stuff, because no guy is gonna go to that length. Okay, the number of stories that I've read online of girls cutting off a guy's penis in his sleep just because she thought he was cheating on her. He wasn't even cheating on her. There was no sign of him cheating on her.
Okay,
He came
Arsis,
home every day.
I'm
He
good
did
with this
chores.
conversation. You just
Yeah,
put the
I'm just
fear in
saying.
me.
That's the fear I have for Kid One,
All
because he
right.
doesn't understand what I mean by like
No,
crazy.
seriously, like my penis just hid. It's hiding right now. He's sad. He's all alone,
There's
and he's
no
shivering.
girl that's going to bed in the middle of the
Yeah.
night and worried about her boyfriend cutting off one of her boobs while she sleeps. I can guarantee there are 0 girls on this planet that's having that fear.
No, you know what they fear? Is they fear black eyes.
Can we go back to talking about food?
Yes. So I was making spaghetti for dinner. and that's just because I had like beef in my fridge, and I used some of it for hamburgers, and then I used some for spaghetti, and I used some for hamburger helper. And then I had like maybe a pound and a half of meat left, and I'm like, screw it, I don't want to make hamburgers. And the alternative was like tacos or burritos. And well, the kids don't eat tacos or burritos because they tend to do things like put just cheese in the taco shell. Yeah, just cheese. Nothing else. Just shredded cheese. It's not melted or anything like that. It's not a quesadilla. It's just a taco shell with cheese in it.
Technically, that's quesadilla.
Yeah, a quesadilla isn't melted. You stick it in the pan and
Ours says
melt it. It's
quesadilla
just
translated
it's
literally means
cold.
tortilla and cheese.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
That's why, because
They
I,
didn't
I
mean
go
it
to I go to
like this
Mexican
was,
restaurants all the time, and I ask for a quesadilla with cheese,
well, I have
and
no
the
Mexicans
Mexicans
I
will
can talk
stare
to.
at me like I'm a dumb American, but I know exactly what I'm doing.
You just ask them for a plain quesadilla.
Right, but
Quesadilla with cheese.
you ask them for a quesadilla with cheese, and they're gonna stare at you.
A tortilla with cheese. Okay, I get it. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's like going into a Vietnamese restaurant and asking for a banh mi sandwich.
I don't know.
Banh mi in
That's probably
Vietnamese means
this is called-
sandwich.
I'm sure that's
Banh mi in
called-
Vietnamese means sandwich, just in case you're wondering. Is
I-
the literal word for
So,
sandwich. So you
sandwich,
ask for a sandwich.
I
Yes.
stand corrected, Arsis. You are doing much better.
But
You haven't missed a beat. I think you're basically almost up to full health.
no, I'm having tea right now, so I'm having tea between stock.
Yeah, it's working.
I have like a giant 20-ounce cup next to me.
I believe you.
I've reheated it like 3 times today because it gives me stomach aches when I drink it cold. I think it's funny that when I talk to Vietnamese people about their food, they're always like, "You said it correctly." I'm like, "Yes, because I know how it's supposed to be pronounced." They're always surprised.
I'm gonna be AFK for a few minutes.
I'm standing around waiting for the rares I need. I have a checklist, so I'm missing 4 rares. No, 3 rares because I killed that other one. I just took it off my list. I mean, it's not like I need to kill them. The ones I needed to kill, I've killed. So
I'm gonna be 28 here, or 29 here pretty soon.
well, that was pretty fast.
Yeah, and the whole thing is to get to 70 in under 5 days, okay? 5 days played. And so far, to this moment, I am at 11 hours, 46 minutes.
Well, let me know if you need to focus.
Money, friend.
Oh, what?
I'll make sure to distract you.
Keep it real.
Focus
Be
so you
good.
don't die.
Yeah.
Keep it real. Have a good one.
No. We're doing fine.
Talk to me. Spirits bewitch your mind. Later. Bye-bye now.
I wonder what I need to do in order to mine 3-star ores. Is it just random or what? Because sitting here with max mining. Oh, I need to upgrade my profession tools, that's what. Wow, there's like 3 other people that mine the same ore as me. That's nice. I'm doing like nothing, flying around because I am waiting for my rares, but instead of just standing there and twiddling my thumbs, I'm mining at the same time. What the heck is that? It's the
I'm
little thing. Talking to myself.
Yep.
It's all good. I'm being brought through, was this Zulaman or Zul'Gurub? I think it's Zul'Gurub.
Fuck.
Hey,
Isn't that a dungeon? What are you doing in the dungeon?
it's not a dungeon. It's a quest for the mind ritual or some shit like that. So
Don't be
a
shy.
priestess
Spirits bewitch your
put me under, kind of like the thing in Thunderbluff. You know, when you start, you drink the water by the fire and it takes you on a spirit walk. That's what it was.
later.
Oh, the breadcrumb that leads you to the dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, so it basically took me through that, and I was following Bloodlord Mandokirk.
Greetings, man. Be seeing ya.
And ding.
29. Huh?
29, yep.
Who you be? Later.
Nope.
Well, it's going to slow down a lot more when you hit 60, you know, when the XP requirements go up by a lot.
Yeah. And this one's going to take me into a cave, so that's a no.
Meggz doesn't want to go in caves.
Nope. I'm not falling for those traps.
Are you mount farming, Nolo?
Me? I was in Pandora, so I thought I'd
Do you know who I
wait for
am?
the shop.
Zandala forever.
I'm reminded how much I dislike waiting for rares. I don't know why I thought Dark Inferno was already here, but you're right, it's not till tonight, so
Yeah, it's tonight. I mean, it's technically quote unquote Sunday, but I mean, it is technically Sunday tonight. Oh, whatever it is, midnight, according to my calendar. So I don't know if that's round time or blizzard time, because you know it is midnight for Meg, so it's I guess blizzard
It's
time. You know, they keep changing this calendar, and I never know what it is because there was at one point where it was my time. So not the round time, not blizzard time, not you know any of that stuff. It was whatever time I was on. So like when I moved over here to a different time zone, it was still whatever time I was on. So the calendar was accurate to what was on my clock. and then it was realm time for a little bit too, and then it swapped to blizzard time for a little bit. So it wasn't the realm, it wasn't where it was wherever blizzard was.
Weird.
So I don't even know what time um is the calendar set to anymore, because they keep changing it. And checking the time for reset doesn't work either, by the way, because I literally had things spawn at a different time than what it's said for reset. So, like, for example, it says on my calendar reset is at 8, which would be blizzard time, because for me reset happens at 11. And
When,
so
when is when is the daily reset from now?
for me it's
11
at
and a half
11,
hours from
so
now?
it's in 11 and a half hours, yeah.
Okay. And what's your realm time right
Well, my realm time is an hour before that, so
now? No, what's your realm time right
my realm time is 10:24 right now, and the local time is 11:23. My reset's at 11 a.m.
My realm time is 8:24 right now.
So that's what I mean by it's but see, according to the calendar, reset happens. See, Dragonflight dungeon event happens at 7. Ends at 7. So for this upcoming Tuesday, ends at 7. The new event happens at 8, which means reset happens at 8 because events end an hour before reset. Yes, I know that
Yeah,
because
I see that
that
too.
happened to me.
The time walking and the battle.
So it says 8 and 7 for you too.
Yep. It has
Yeah.
2 different times, yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's blizzard time. But for example, see, it says Darkmoon Fair begins at midnight. That's blizzard time. So for me, that's 3 a.m. But I've seen Dark Moon Fair come up at midnight server time before
Man,
during
Pilgrim
BFA.
Week ends Monday and I haven't even been there yet.
I'm just saying it's not consistent, so they change it all the time, and then it doesn't. And then you're like, I thought it wasn't supposed to be up until blah blah blah, and then it's not.
Ooh, next week's gonna be so busy.
This week is pretty busy too. Between
Yeah.
time walking, there's no more time walking next week, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm not even done with time walking. I still need to finish it on Arceus. I've done it on my rogue. I haven't done the dungeons because I've been sick. I had the really bad combination of sick too. So, see, Kid 1 has the runny nose. Kid 2, no, Kid 1 has the scratchy throat. Kid 2 has the runny nose. And they both gave me their whatever they have. So I have the scratchy throat and runny nose.
Hey, check this out, guys. Thursday, May 25th, a greedy emissary begins.
I don't know what that
And then
is.
when you read about what that is, it says strange winds blowing from another world and sightings of odd bag-holding creatures spot the land. Find them and see what treasures they may hold.
So like the goblins in Diablo 4?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like that, doesn't it? But
Yeah,
it's
you don't.
May 20
If you don't get them in time, they'll fucking make a portal and escape.
Yeah,
think
we had
that's-
that on Forbidden Reach too. It's the same thing that we had in Torghast, where you had to kill the thing and, it drops treasure.
Yeah.
We also had that in Korthia, where you had to kill them and they drop treasure. It
Mm,
depends on what kind of treasure it is, because one man's treasure is another man's trash. Goes both ways. Three more things to kill. So I've been sitting here and waiting for my rares, and sometimes you're like, did I kill them today? I think I didn't kill them today. Anyways, that's why I started a tracking. I'm writing it down on a notepad so that I can make sure that I've killed them. So when I kill them, I mark it down on my notepad so that I know it's been killed for the day.
if you had Tom Tom, it would put a check mark there.
No,
time you
because
kill it.
I do stuff around the zones. So the problem with that add-on is that if you end up in the same coordinates as that thing, it checks it off anyway. Yeah, even if you're not killing it, because it's not keeping track of rares for you. It's just keeping track of you're in the same coordinate.
I haven't experienced that where it checks it off if I haven't killed it personally.
I mean, keep in mind, even though I don't use add-ons, I do have it. I just turn it off when I'm not using it. I only use it for very specific things, and that's because Blizzard has made it very difficult to do things without it.
Okay. That's what they say.
Okay, you know about the new secret mount in the new zone, right?
No, no.
It's a slug. You have to find 3 orbs in the no flight area. The area where you fly around and there's the count up to 10 and it dismounts you.
Yeah.
Good. There's 3 orbs, fire orbs, in that area that you have to click. There's 14 spawn points. Okay, and these 14 spawn points are going to be close together. The orb is the same color as the magma. Not only that, all the mobs around there all have orbs floating around them.
That's nice.
So doing it without tracking the coordinates or anything like that is impossible, because unlike, for example, Asuna, where you have to click the 6 or 8 crystals in order to get the hippogriff mount, which by the way I have, and I did that without coordinates because it's not trying to hide it. It's a purple crystal in a green or blue area inside a cave or something like that. There are no mobs there to have floating crystals over their heads where you're going, is that a crystal or is that not a crystal? Yeah, none of that stuff. So,
Did you get it? Did you get it?
No, of course not. I've flown over to all those different areas and there are no orbs up. And that's just because the orbs have a 1-hour respawn. If someone clicks it, it disappears. And it takes an hour for it to come back. And if someone clicks the chest to loot the mount, every single person in the zone loses their buffs. On top of that, if you leave the zone, if you hurt, if you DC, if you do an instance, any of that stuff, it removes your buffs. And you need 3. So just like with the time lost hippogriff, it's definitely easy to do it when people start losing interest in this zone. This is not a good time for that. Because as soon as Mythic Dungeons start, as soon as raids start, as soon as even halfway through this patch, this zone is going to become like Forbidden Reach. After the first or second week, Forbidden Reach had no one in it.
And this engineering portal thing, it puts me in some pretty cool places in like Zeralek Caverns.
You know that if you put the points in the right place, you can decide where you want to go. Okay.
I don't have enough yet.
Did you get that thing? There's also the one where you make a robot to be-res the group if you all die an
I
untimely
do.
death.
I have a couple of those. Yeah.
The B-res, not the B-res, but the mass res robot. That's I thought that was really cool because it saves you to run back.
I haven't used it yet because I think it's more appropriate for raiding than it is for like mythic dungeons.
No,
So
it is
maybe there'll
because
be some.
like
Maybe there'll be some parts where in the coming weeks where it'll come in handy.
it depends on where you die and how close you are to the timer. You might want to hang on to some of those for mythic dungeons just because let's say we wipe on the last boss instead
Yeah,
of
I
spending
can
time
imagine
running
it would be
back.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, Arceus, what is whispering to me from the magma?
That would be an orb.
That would be what?
An orb. The orbs whisper to
Really?
you.
Oh,
And if you're seeing it from the magma, that means that there's an orb over there. And you know how those guys that have orbs over their head and they're more purplish red? And the orb that you're looking for is going to be just red, and it's going to be like, one of those hazy type orbs that you can click. But you need 3 of them. And so once you click one, you'll stop hearing the whisper because that's the orb whispering to you that it's there. And then when you fly around, you're going to, if you hear another whisper, you should be able to find 3. And then I can give you the coordinates for the
alright,
chest
sorry,
if
I can find them. I'm
get
just
the orbs.
I just spawned like somewhere in the caverns, and all of a sudden something started whispering to me from the magma.
Yeah. People have noted on the page for the mount that they hear whispers after they get their first orb, usually, and if they head towards where it says the whispers are, they usually find an orb there.
Yeah, I just happened to be looking at all these orbs you're talking about too.
Yeah, it's not gonna be something that's gonna be annoying or anything when you're not looking for it, but when you are, you're like, screw it, why in the world is there so many of these? And so I do have TomTom. I just don't like using it often. It's just when I really need to. Let's say that stupid camel in Tovir, not Tovir, the zone that the Tovir is in. Let me open my map. I don't remember what it's called. Let me find it. It's in Oldham. Old Oldham, not New Oldham. You know how you have to click all these camel statues in order to get the camel mount? Yeah, that. So, tracking that is highly useful because it's very hidden. But my problem isn't knowing where the rares are. My problem is whether or not I've killed them for the day. It's like the events one, like no one needs to know where the events are. They need to know if they did the event for the week because events are weekly. And so you don't remember if you've done them for the week. And there's a script for that. So, if anyone has the ability to make scripts, that'd be great because I am crappy at that kind of thing.
You could probably just cut and paste it from Wallhead.
No, they don't have a script for the rares. Right, and the rares are daily, so...
I still think you might find it in one of your comments.
I've looked and I haven't found anything, so if you guys find stuff, that'd be great. I'm just flying around and doing some digging, and I haven't heard any whispers from the magma or anything like that otherwise. But, these orbs are in caves and on buildings and stuff like that, so it's not just from the magma in case you, hear more of
I
them.
better go up where I was then. 'Cause, yeah, I haven't been able to find it, and it hasn't whispered again.
It should be close to where you were originally. And so I I'm making sure I get off my offerings because that's daily, and so the ritual offerings had a chance to get what are these called? Barter bricks, and I need barter bricks.
Where's Cam at, Meggz?
Family stuff. She was on earlier.
Who's them?
Hello, my irresponsible gaming friends.
Hello.
How are you doing?
So far, so good. I haven't died yet still.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've mentioned it, but in Loam there is a crest lady where she will trade crests with you. Don't do it. It's a trap. I'm not kidding. Because she'll trade crests with you, and you're thinking, oh, she'll upgrade my crest, but she's not. She's going to downgrade your crest. There is no way to upgrade your crest right now. So you're going to end up trading your Drake crest for the Whelpling crest, and instead of being able to upgrade your stuff all the way from 411 to 424 starting next week with these crests when you start doing mythic dungeons, you're going to end up only being able to upgrade the blues up to 411 with these Whelpling crests. So I'm saying don't do it. You're going to need your Drake crest starting next week.
My crests have a whitening formula.
It's. I just want to make sure that everyone knows so that she doesn't end up trading them in and then screwing herself over. Just keep in mind she's gonna have to collect all the shards all over again, and like
Oh, it's okay. I hoard everything until I find out what I'm supposed to do with it. So.
Okay, well, the Drake crest allows you to upgrade gear from 411 to 424, and that means that you can.
Drake crest.
Yeah, well, it's depending on how high you tend to push dungeons. I mean, it's dungeon gear up to 411, and then after 411 you need the worm crest. But I mean, if you end up with worm crest in your bag and you're doing 11 and up dungeons, you're going to need those worm crests and the Drake crest for upgrading the gear further. And so you're not going to have your worm crest if you end up downgrading it to a Drake crest, because you can't just buy it back like the other stuff. Or at least I assume you can. I was looking at it and I'm like, this seems like it's a trap. And then I double checked on Wowhead and it was a trap. So I told Wes and Nolo yesterday after I was doing my research, and then I'm like, I told Meggz today, and I'm telling you now so that you don't make mistakes with it. Also made sure Wes wasn't going to sell his barter bricks because you can vendor those for gold, and it seems like a lot of gold because it's 10 gold each. But then
That's not.
it depends. I'm like, you're gonna need that to buy your stuff, from what's
This
his
is why
face.
this is why I just hoard everything.
Yes, but he tends to be like, my bags are really messy. I'll just sell everything that I don't know what I need. And
I
I'm
like to refer to my bags as organized chaos.
well, he does things like I made him a holy set so that I could heal on his tune and do LFR for him. I even saved it as holy, in his gear thing,
Mhm.
and he vendored them all.
That's my boy.
I'd be mad. I'm sorry. I'd be mad.
I'm like, I was gonna do the LFR for you because you said you didn't have time, and that way you can get your quest done because your quest logs are full. And but why in the world did you sell all my stuff? He's like, I didn't need it. I'm like, I had it saved. He's like, I didn't notice. He said he didn't see it. That's exactly the problem with like my fridge, for example. I have like 10 buckets of sour cream in my fridge.
Why?
Because he can't see them, even though they're right in front of his face. And so, like, I put it up high. I put it next to the milk. I put it next to, I have like lunch boxes and stuff in there. So I put it next to the lunchbox. I put it next to the margarine. I put it next to his creamer. No matter where I put it in the fridge, you can't find it. It's not even like it's in the back of the fridge. It's right in front. And he's just like, I don't have any sour cream. I'll buy more sour cream.
Okay, I thought you legitimately meant as in like you like specifically bought 10 tubs
No,
and put them in the fridge.
He buys this.
I
I make him
understand
a list.
now.
And so I learned how to cook with the sour cream. So like there is a cheesecake recipe. It's the
Oh yeah, then sour cream can be used so
the
many ways.
Cheesecake Factory cheesecake recipe requires sour cream in it, and it's like a whole tub of sour cream. So, and of course beef stroganoff.
The other
Giggity.
reason that I was really freaked out for a second when you said tubs is that you can like the tubs of sour cream here are like a kilo tubs.
Oh really? That's a lot.
They're not like the small
they're
like
500
250 mil.
milligrams. They're
Yeah.
like 500 milligrams.
Yeah, ours are like
So
a
I'm just
kilo
saying how
when it
big
comes
it
to
is.
tubs.
It's
Yeah,
not a kilo.
they're 10 3-kilo tubs.
Jesus.
Like they're roughly 500 milligrams. It's in American measurements, so it's actually a little bit under, but it's like 484 milligrams.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a really big difference. I just call it 500. It's just easier. Here's what makes it like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. How many ounces is that? I don't even know how many ounces that is. I don't even look at that part of the container. Because I have no idea how to convert that.
Well, you're not wrong.
Hey, I know how much 1 ounce is. 1 ounce is like 29 milligrams. Or 28 milligrams. I just round it up to 30. It's just easier.
I know how many 1 ounce is. It's like 32 joints.
Jesus.
Right? It's the same thing. Still an ounce.
Is it?
Sure, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't really know.
I'm more the type to drug people and not the type to do drugs myself.
I was just trying to make a funny. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be fun.
Okay.
Okay, your face is funny enough.
Keep in mind that Wes found out.
Hey.
Wes found out like
I have a face for
8 years
radio,
ago
thank you.
that I've been putting laxatives in his food.
Oh my god.
Natural laxatives, not.
That sounds
actual
shitty.
drugs.
That's a shitty thing to do.
But well, I
God
mean,
damn it.
he's this way, okay? As a man, he poops like a man.
Basically, he spends 45 minutes on a toilet until something actually comes out, and then spends another
More.
fucking half hour.
More. He sits in there for like an hour or 3 sometimes, and I'm like, "Are you still in there?" He's like, "Yes." So I decided that I was going to help him be more regular.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do not blame you.
They're just natural laxatives. There are certain foods that you'll eat that'll help. Anyways,
Is he in the
so
bathroom for so long because you're talking to him through the door and he just can't relax enough to
no,
fucking
no,
finish the job?
no. But the thing
After
is,
10 minutes, you should be relaxed and have the job fucking done.
he has his phone in there. He's, relaxing. I
Oh,
mean, he's not a
well.
teenage boy. He's not doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, fuck me. No. No, bear form. God damn it.
Meggz
Don't
died.
die, Meggz. He's
No.
doing Iron Man, so I hope he didn't die.
Nope. But I healed myself in the middle of a fucking fight and it wouldn't go back to bear form, so I started to panic.
Maybe there's a general cooldown. Learn to run away in kitty form.
I know how to play druid, thank you. Just it wasn't doing the things.
And then, yeah, so I helped him. And so, I'm like, that's why I told the kids the other day, because we watch true crime, and so so most of the things we watch are things like, where, because they're kids, where kids get murdered. So we were watching one where the father of 5 murdered all 5 of his kids in the backseat of his car,
Christ.
and I told the kids, and this is why there's only 2 of you, because if there were 5, your dad would go crazy. And also, first of all, I taught them how to escape a car, and 2, they thought it was too scary, and so before they got to the details of exactly how he did it, they decided I should stop the video. But like, we watched a documentary on the Amber Alert and why it's called an Amber Alert. There was actually a little girl named Amber in the United States. Just making sure they understand exactly why I tell them that they shouldn't walk off. Don't worry, they're old enough for that. They like the fake stuff, so I told them it's not scary enough. We'll watch the real stuff.
I just don't have kids.
Well, they're addicted to that stuff. Like, when they want to be scared, that's what they want to watch. So it's not like I'm doing it just to scare them. They want scary things. They like watching scary shows. It's their preference. And so
Yeah.
when they actually want to be scared and not, I always ask them, you want a scary show? Do you want a fun scary or real scary? And they choose. So sometimes they want fun scary. We'll watch like Hotel Transylvania, right? Fun scary, vampires, zombies, mummies, things like that. Like, they've watched The Mummy, the good one, with Brendan Fraser. Yeah, they've watched like The Matrix, all of them, including the new one. Right? Fun scary, not, it's exciting. They find like Terminator scary, so like they'll want to watch Terminator. But we don't watch all of them anymore. They've watched every single one, including the new one. But they prefer, of course, the first and second one, which are actually good.
Arsis, what's in your tea?
Lipton.
Lipton.
I also have
I think it's
have
caffeinated.
Yeah, it is. It's tea. It has caffeine in it.
I can tell.
But like
'Cause in the last half hour, you went from different types of foods and where they came from to chopping off dicks to child murder, and I'm just like worried. I'm like, this has got to be some tea. I want to try some.
it's regular tea.
You definitely have the
look,
gift of gab, because I just
they've
don't seem to
done,
have it.
It's the girl genes.
The girl gene, yeah.
Leave my jeans out of this. They fit very nicely, thank you.
Right, because the only thing that I've been able to think of as a conversation topic is telling Nolo that I have 820 kills, but I have 860 killing blows. And that was like, I just couldn't, I didn't have the strength to interrupt anything you were saying.
Well, you can choose a topic. We'll talk about that.
That's
You
pretty
told me about
much
the
it.
roofing thing and, your mom.
Oh, yeah, that too. Boundaries. We talked about boundaries.
Yes, boundaries are very important. You learn that stuff when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And so I don't try to interfere too much with the kids because if I do, they'll never learn to set boundaries for themselves.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Yes, it does because they need to learn to mediate themselves, not just have me intervene every single time they have a
No,
disagreement.
that's not what I'm saying, is I don't think moms understand boundaries because they try to speak about boundaries, but they're telling their kids about boundaries when,
That's because I made their butts.
yeah, see? It's like was it mother's prerogative?
But, I
Mother's
told them before,
prerogative overrides
because kid one is
boundaries.
trying to tell kid two what to do all the time. And I'm like, you're not allowed to tell her what to do. You're not her boss. I'm her boss. I'm your boss. I'm daddy's boss. I'm everyone's boss. You have to listen to me because I made your butt.
I
And
But Dad
made,
helped make
if you
your
want to touch her butt, then you should make your own butts.
I made your butt.
I made his butt.
Holy shit, these guys
I
are
also
hitting
went
harder.
over who's allowed to see them naked. So, like, for example, his dad's not allowed to see them naked. No one's allowed to see them naked, except for me.
What the fuck?
It's because they had this habit of taking off all their clothes when they were little. We're talking about, like, toddler. And so I was teaching them that they should be wearing their clothes because no one should be seeing them naked except for me. And that's just because, as a man, men are not okay with seeing kids naked, even if they're their own kids. So I'm trying to make sure that they're not going to walk around without their clothes on, even in front of Wes. Because it makes him uncomfortable.
I get it.
So let's say one day you have your own kids and your wife is like, Meggz, can you give them a bath? I've asked Wes to do that before. He's not comfortable doing that. He doesn't want to give them a bath. He doesn't even want to give them a shower. And it's not even like he's touching them. He's literally just sitting there making sure they don't drown. That's like a girl thing. Like, we're okay with it, but he's not. So I'm just there was a phase when, like, kid one, especially not kid one, kid two would take off her dress and she would be walking around in her underwear. And she would do that in the front yard. So, it's that whole, the reason why no one's allowed to see them naked except for me kind of talk came up. Some weird stuff. Want to hear some other weird stuff I've told the kids? I explained to them where babies came from. The other day I'm like, I've explained
butt.
to kids. No.
the butt.
You know where babies come from.
Storks.
They come from.
The storks.
No.
Dad's ballsack.
The baby grows in the mommy's belly.
And an aimed shot.
Mommy's belly has a room for the baby. It's the baby's room. Or in medical terms, a uterus. But I didn't use that word for the kids because they're not going to remember that. They're like 6 and 8. So that word is too big for them. They know the word, they just don't remember it. So if you say it, they'll know what it is. They're like, "Oh, the baby's room." That's where the baby grows. Yeah? Going off to a good start so far? Yeah, PC enough for kids. And then so the baby doesn't just magically appear in there. how you
No, it
make
comes
the
out of dad's
baby.
ball sack first.
Yes. I tell the kid one that that's where his babies are, because the thing is
Escaping his
that
pants is snack, if you know what I mean.
I did explain to them that in order to make a baby, you have to take half the baby from mom and half the baby from dad, and then you smush it together
Smush.
and smush it together, just mix it up, and then you put it in the baby's room, and then it grows for 9 months, and then it becomes a baby. So if there is no other half of the baby, then obviously there is no baby, and no baby grows there. And so I told kid kid 2 that she has her babies are eggs, like with chickens. They're called eggs. And she's like, no, I don't have eggs. I'm like, yeah, they're inside your body. You're born with them. Which is true. And every month, like with the chicken, she'll have an egg that goes in the baby's room and waits for the other half of the baby. When there isn't, then no baby grows. And for kid 1, I explained to him that his babies he's going to make them all the time, and they're over there in his balls. And periodically, when he's old enough to have babies, his balls are going to end up with too many babies in there, and he's going to have to let them out. Otherwise, he'll be in pain because there will be no room, and he's going to keep making them even if there's no room. And he's going to make millions of them. Billions. The funny thing is, he told me that when I told him that the baby's going to come out of his junk, he said, but that's going to really hurt. I'm like, no, there's a really
No, 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 come on.
Did you die?
No, someone's helping me kill this thing.
Oh.
Are they not supposed to?
No.
No, he's doing an Iron Man challenge, so he needs to kill a certain number of
All
them
you can
himself.
do is try to get in the killing blow.
Yeah, right?
Kill one thing at a time. That way, you know for sure you can.
What is this? Oh, it's a 31. This guy's been waiting. That's what it was. I'll bet you anything. This guy was waiting for some help.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. This is... I don't
Come
think
back
it's
here
gonna...
later.
No, it's not gonna affect me too much. So far, the part I don't understand is how my killing blows outnumber my number of kills.
It does. Well, good.
Yeah,
Good.
I have 820 kills and 860 killing blows.
Do you have something that hits that procs?
What?
Okay, procs technically proc on hits, right? So if your hit kills them and you proc at the same time an extra hit, then it's 2 hits.
Not yet. I'm too low a level
I
for
killed them.
the... Yeah, I don't have the extra
That's why I
thrash.
asked. Yeah, you have and you also have the Moonfire proc.
No, I don't have Galactic Guardian.
Oh, okay.
But the Moonfire does tick.
Yeah, the Moonfire does tick, but it's every, what, second and a half?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe
And,
it's that.
and the
No.
thing is, I would have to time the killing blow. But like I said, with my numbers as they stand currently, I don't think one is gonna affect me. If anything, this guy just helped make the kill faster. So, and for the most part, I've been killing everything all by myself, so I should still be good. Like if I log out
99%.
and update my character, I can tell you what my standings are.
Well,
Well, I'm not doing that right now. I'm in the
you
middle
can
of
also check your
Skull
statistics.
Slitter. I have to log out to update it.
No, I mean like see total number under kills in your statistics. You have total kills, and then under that you have killing blows.
It's on the website.
It's also on your achievement tab.
Arsis. It's tracked on the website.
I know, but I'm saying without needing to log out, you can just double check.
Then I'd have to do the math.
No, because it should be the same number -1 since you said you killed everything yourself except for this one thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because right now, it's like, because I've had no assists. Right now, my mob kill to killing blow ratios is like 110%. But if my killing blows goes under the number of killed mobs, and it reaches to a point where what was it 75%, if I remember right, it's got to be higher than 75%.
Well, you
Then
said
I'm
you've
in
been
trouble.
killing mostly by yourself, so I don't think it's gonna make a difference if it's one thing.
Well, that's what I've been saying. Is that I don't think one is going to affect me, especially by the time I'm done with this. I'm probably going to kill like 2 or 10,000 fucking mobs. What I'm worried about is once I get to Dragonlands, you know, like I should have a good time out in Onara Plains and what's the Azure something. That'll be fine.
Azure Spad.
Yeah, but Waking Shores and I think Thaldraxis is going to be a little bit of a challenge.
There's at least 2 other people over here looking for orbs. Fun times. I'm just flying around because I'm looking for the offerings.
How many barter bricks do you have, Arceus?
9.
Okay.
But I also haven't opened the majority of my clinking dirt covered pouches
Why haven't you opened them?
because it gives you rep when you open them.
Oh, okay. Oh. Hey Zen, is Dark Moon Fair already going where you're at? I guess it wouldn't matter.
I'm assuming that it's just blizzard time.
Yeah, it's just blizzard time, so it doesn't start till tomorrow.
Silly you. You guys know this is Naked Gardening Day.
Eh.
Is it what?
First Saturday in May is always Naked Gardening Day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my neighbors are gonna look at me funny.
Well, shit, you should have told me that earlier. I would have taken care of my mom's task.
Or
What
ask
else?
your mom to take off all her clothes.
Nah, I'd take off all my clothes. What are you talking about?
But she's the one doing the gardening.
She's not getting naked in my yard.
No one ever said it had to be your own yard.
Oh, this fucking Worgen guy is waiting for me again.
That's why I said you should pause it there and do a different quest chain, and that way for sure no one's gonna be following you around.
I don't want to have to come back.
So is that cross faction guild thing up yet, or is it like not
Yes,
until
it's
next
already
week?
out.
How is that working out? Because the thing is, you still can't communicate with people from the opposite faction.
I'm sure there's some bugs.
You also can't trade outside of instances.
Who said it was perfect right out of the box?
Well, that was one of the complaints about the professions thing, the crafting orders, is that you can't communicate with crafters of the opposite faction to communicate exactly what you want. So you're limited in who you can put personal orders to.
If they're in your guild, you can understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use guild chat. But I'm saying that people were having issues where they would want certain things crafted, but they can't talk to anyone from the opposite faction in order to tell them exactly what they want instead of just putting out a public order.
Just give it time. They'll fix it.
And then some bozo decides to take your quality 3 stuff and give you a quality 1 or a quality 2 item.
One world, one race.
I mean, there is also a notes section on the fucking thing. When crafting orders and stuff, there is a notes section.
I have a feeling I already killed that rare and I forgot to mark it off.
Come on.
Versus is 54 gold reasonable for an empty soul cage?
Yeah. You can also put up a crafting order for it. I'm assuming you're putting up a crafting order for it.
No, I just bought it.
Or in that case, it's definitely more than reasonable enough. Keep in mind, in order to make one of these empty soul cages, you need 2 rousing element of each element.
Alright, there's one down.
I mean, I can crunch the numbers right now for you and find out exactly how much that's costing to make, but as far as I know, most of these are like over 10 gold each, so that's, you know, they're basically making that a loss for 54 gold.
Like 2,000.
No, I'm saying that if they're selling it for 54 gold on the auction house, they're making it at a loss. They're not even breaking
I
even.
hear you. It's just, I don't know how people do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Leveling up their profession maybe and just want to get rid of them.
Yeah, because the thing is, you what am I saying? Yeah, the empty soul cages are used to be like 75 gold each at the beginning of the X pack, but there's so many of them that. What the heck is this? What a luminescent cave pool. I'm gonna fish out of it. Anyways, I think I made like a few of them and then I stopped making them because I didn't have the engineering thing to use it. I put them on the auction house and then that was that. But like I said, I've been using them lately because I've been trying to get those pets. I guess a random fish or something out of this pool. the kids kept killing each other in Minecraft, so I said, screw it, I'm not letting you guys kill each other anymore, and I turned off the friendly fire.
Fuck me. No.
I think I killed him this morning.
Oh, fucking A. Someone, god damn it, came in and fucking helped me with this kill again.
Yeah, that's gonna happen sometimes. That's why they give you leeway.
They'd have to. Well, because we also discovered that fucking some of these mobs are already in combat with like NPCs.
Yeah, but the NPCs don't typically do enough damage to kill them.
Depends on where the health is at on the mobs they're fighting. Because, like I said, for you to get a kill, it has to be 75% of their health pool. So you start killing
Oh,
something that has 50% health, it doesn't count as a kill.
well, that sucks.
Yeah. Just little things about the achievement attempt. Or the effort, not the achievement, but you know what I mean.
The challenge, yes.
The challenge, yes. And all this is tracked, by the way. Like, Nolo and I were reviewing the stats on the effort, and someone got red flagged for using a health potion.
What if it's your own profession?
Can't use
Can't have
professions.
professions.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the whole leveling to 70 wearing white gear, that's just the fucking bigger picture of it. When you get down to the details, there's a lot of stuff involved. You know what I mean? Can't have help. Can't be in a dungeon or a raid. Can't have professions. Can't be boosted in like almost in any way. That's why I was wondering if the Dark Moon Fair has any kind of an effect on it, because it is 10% XP. But does that disqualify me? Now,
Well, like I said,
I
you
can't
might
send
want to.
myself gear. You can't send yourself gear. You can't send yourself gold. You can't use a health stone unless you're a warlock. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit.
Fun times.
Yeah. And I'm actually having a good time doing this effort. I'm playing it very.
It'll make you a better druid.
I'd like to think so. I don't know. I think it's a little bit more
Well,
skeptical. I'd hate to think I get on Meggz and all of a sudden I die and I'm going, no, no. Oh, wait.
no, I mean, like, you're gonna have to really watch your abilities so that you know what to do in certain situations.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I picked a druid for the effort in the first place, because it is a class I'm most comfortable with. But you're right. At the same time, if I was ever playing sloppily, wearing white gear is scaring the shit out of me because, like, I pull one mob, and by the time I'm done, I'm at like 40% health. Earlier on, it wasn't that bad. I could pull 3 mobs. No problem.
Versus setters on them.
Really? It used to be green.
No. And Arhe said he tried the Iron Man challenge when you couldn't have talent points. You couldn't spend talent points. You had to be speckless.
That's crazy.
I know, right? And then you couldn't use mounts until recently.
Well, that would make it impossible because you can't walk from one end of the Dragon Isles to the other. I've tried on foot.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why they allowed it.
You tried it, Arceus? Why?
Because I like exploring the world, and so being on foot allows you to see more of it.
I mean, you're able to walk to each different section, minus the flight path up to Forbidden Reach.
Well, there's a canyon in the way between Thaldraszus and the Waking Shores, and between whatever.
Onara.
The plains, yeah, well, I can't say it. And Thaldraszus, there, that river, there is also a canyon. There is a way to walk from between the plains and Thaldraszus, but if you're trying to get from the Waking Shores to the plains, there's a sheer cliff wall, so you're not going to be able to get around that. You can try from the coastline, but again, sheer cliff wall. You're going to be going along the beach from the Waking Shores, where the elites are, all the way to the other elites in right behind Nokudan Hold. There are elites there on the coastline. And before you're going to be able to get into the plains. On top of that, if you're trying to walk from the plains to Azor Span, you can. There is a road, but from Azor Span to Thaldraszus is all mountains.
There's a path from the Waking Shores into Anaran Plains.
Yes, but it's a cliff wall. It literally stops at the cliff.
It goes all the way through. It's where I go.
These
Really?
guys, man.
Does
Yeah.
it go all the way through? I've got to walk along there and take a look at it. As far as I know, I keep coming across cliffs, more and more cliffs. That'll be interesting.
No, because I ran straight from Waking Shores
Stop
into Anaran
helping
Plains.
me.
Is it from the Dragon Scale base camp end or the end with the Apex
Oh my God,
Observatory?
these guys are fucking.
Base camp end.
Okay, I try that later on.
Cool.
I need to go somewhere else.
But yeah, there's a path behind the Cobalt Assembly to go into Thaldraszus from the Azure Span, where it has the elites there. We did a quest chain there at one point for the campaign. But if you look at the road breaks off, and then it sort of just, drops down from there. I'll probably make it. I'm a paladin. I can just bubble. Throw myself into the void.
Fucking
Oh, that's
rest
nice.
of druids needs interrupts, man.
You can flap. It's a glyph where it allows you to flap in boomy form, and it doesn't matter which spec you're in. I can use it in Resto. I can use
No, I
it
need
in
an interrupt.
You know what?
I need an interrupt.
Oh, for Resto, I got Bash on my druid.
She has to shapeshift.
Yeah. No, you can use it in any shapeshifting form.
Bash
Yeah.
on a druid? No, you have to be.
I don't remember it shifting me into a bear. It did for the roar. I got roar for a little bit, and
Nolo.
or am I getting them mixed up? I got roar for a little bit, but it didn't work
Ding.
as an interrupt, so I stopped
Yeah,
using
it's
it.
30, huh?
30.
Raw works without shapeshifting because that's what I
It's the
currently
other way
have.
around.
Halfway there, dude.
Because I have it for Sparks during raid.
Because I was using roar for a little bit on my druid, and then I realized it wasn't working unless I time it just right or something like that. There was something going
you
on
have to
where
be
it wasn't
within a
working.
specific yardage.
Well, I was in melee. Like us Meggz and Nola, when I heal, I stand pretty close. Like, unless I
Okay,
have to be
Steve.
in range, I'm usually in melee. On my druid, on my shaman. It really freaks out tanks, I think. Pug tanks, not like Meggz or Windolo tanks, but I mean like pug tanks. Just because they're not used to seeing a healer in melee, and I like being in melee. That way the tank can move however the heck he wants, and if it's inconvenient for me to move off the bat, they're not out of range right away.
They don't like it because they don't want you to get cleaved.
Yeah,
Dude, get what?
cleaved.
Get cleaved.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that tanks don't like having the healer in melee for some reason.
That's
Yeah, because
why.
we get cleaved.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
God,
I've had
that's
tanks
right.
spin the guy like, and I didn't care. What do you mean by cleaved? Like, I'm gonna cleave
No.
If you are on the front side of the boss, you will get cleaved whether you
I
are
sound his
stacked with
butt
the
though.
tank or not.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why
I
you
don't
don't stand in front of the mob. So Azure Scale in Azure Vault has a frontage
Yeah.
cleave. If you are
But I don't
standing
stand in
any
front of
which way
stuff.
in front of the boss, you
Yeah,
will
but
get cleaved.
it makes tanks nervous when you're in that area.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because we are the squishies.
I've never seen issues with having a holy paladin in melee, but if you put a priest in melee, it makes them nervous.
I know, right? Right? Right?
Speak, friend.
Arsis,
Like, I know
I
where
am
to stand.
constantly saying, don't be in front, don't stand next to me, you're gonna get cleaved. You're gonna get
Yeah.
cleaved.
But if you haven't, you know what? Next time we do a dungeon, I'm gonna put a marker over my head as a healer so you can see where I'm standing.
Yeah, and then you'll find the tanks running away from you, and then you're gonna be
No, I
running
mean,
after
you're gonna
them.
find that I'm usually standing on the butt.
Arsis, how about this?
Not the
Stop
tank's
doing
butt,
that.
the mob's butt.
Yeah.
It makes them nervous, Arsis. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah, like the second boss in Azure Vault, I constantly have to spin the boss to keep people from getting cleaved by arcane cleave.
yeah,
Nobody
but
cares
it's
how.
their
Nobody cares how.
job to not be in the cleave.
Arsis, nobody cares how great care you take to not get in front. It still makes them nervous.
I don't know. I don't think about that stuff when I'm tanking. I just don't.
It
move
would help
things,
if you
and I
did.
expect them to not be in front, because when the tank moves the things around, it's harder to stay out of the cleave because I'm not expecting the boss to move.
I mean, as a
As a
healer
melee
myself,
DPS.
like, for me, being anywhere near the boss makes me fucking nervous, which is why I'm always so far.
For me, I don't want to be that far away from the boss because I want to be able to be in my own AoEs so that I can heal myself too.
Yeah,
I mean, I heal myself
understand
just
all that,
Like,
fine.
but it
I'm
still
not
makes-
gonna stand there if there is going to be
it
a
still
splash
makes a lot of
damage.
tanks nervous.
I'm not gonna stand there if standing in melee is gonna kill me, just because I know what abilities there
Want
are.
something?
Like if it's, for example, the
That's
last
what we're
boss
talking about though,
in
Arsis. Like you're
Halls
just
of-
you're making tanks jobs more difficult if they have to keep spinning the boss because it's not just you, it's
but why
everybody
are you
it's
spinning the
everybody
boss?
because you're standing next to or too close to the front. It's a 35 or like
I'm not
135
standing in
degree
front. I'm
arc.
standing on the boss's butt with all the melee DPS.
You know what? This conversation is literally going in circles.
Yes, it is because you're expecting the healer to stand behind the tank. I'm standing behind the melee DPS.
Okay.
Literally the same place I
Got
stand
it.
when I'm healing on
Understood.
a holy paladin. So I can be in my own efflorescence and my own healing rain.
Got it.
Doing, man.
You know, there's every boss fight is different. Just go
It
with the
is,
flow.
but like for
and-
example, when I'm on that boss that
Okay.
you're talking about with the orb and
Okay,
the
I did that to
cleave in
myself.
Azure Vault, you noticed that I didn't stand in melee, but I also died because I didn't get any of my AoE heals.
We're fine. We do fine, Arsis. We're a good group.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it depends on the healer, and the thing is, I forget to heal myself like a lot of other healers. which is why I
nothing
have to
about
stand in
you.
melee.
It's nothing about you in particular, Narcissus. It's just being in melee area, a healer being in melee area makes tanks nervous. That's all. It's nothing
Yes, I
personal.
understand that.
It's not anything about your style in particular.
I just don't understand why, which is why I'm asking you guys, and you're explaining it to me.
Right.
And I'm
I'm
explaining
trying to
that I
explain it
don't
to you, but
understand
you're
why cleave
arguing
is
the
an
fact.
issue.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to explain something when you have a rebuttal for it.
Well, for example, evokers tend to be in melee. But they can also be in range.
You can still be in range as a healer whilst also still not being in melee range of the boss and tank.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
where
I'm
I
standing
stand.
at the equivalent of minimum range, the old hunter minimum range. I'm not
Basically,
in any
basically
of
the
this
way
flash
we
damage.
understand the conversation is that you know where to stand to avoid unnecessary damage or prevent
Yes.
yourself from getting killed. That's
My
all.
understanding is that
No,
if you're
no,
gonna
no,
stand in
no,
melee,
no, no.
Don't die, Meggz!
are you almost
Don't
dead?
die!
Oh.
Oh, you're watching him almost die?
No, I just know that sound.
Okay. Well, my understanding of being in melee is the same as if a holy paladin or melee DPS is gonna stand in melee, they should know the mechanics to not die.
Yeah, as should
And if a
everybody.
healer chooses to stand in melee, it's the same thing.
Oh.
If the healer dies, they should stop standing in melee. I think that's reasonable, and I think that as a tank, I shouldn't have to worry about whether or not the other people that are in the group understand the mechanics of the dungeon.
They should.
That's not your job
They
to
should.
worry about if they know the mechanics. You should already expect them to know the mechanics.
Exactly.
That means that if melee decides to stand in front of a cleave, that's not your fault. Just like how when you tank the mobs in No Kud, which, you know, the first boss trash, they have a cleave. But you don't spin them.
I'm sure you've heard me tell people to tank a few dungeons themselves because that will
So-
help them become a better DPS.
No, I'm giving you an example of
I'm giving you an example.
An instance where you don't spin them because you expect them not to stand in front.
A well-rounded
And-
player will know how to tank and DPS. If they understand the strife of a tank, that will make them a better DPS.
Well, the thing that I've always told people is they should make healers because then they would understand why they die.
I can agree to that. The thing is, it's understanding the mechanics, because if you can understand the mechanics, it doesn't matter if you're tank, healer, or DPS.
I mean, you might
You
laugh at
understand
my
how it goes.
disclaimer, Meggz, but my disclaimer is there for a reason. It's been there since Pandaria.
I don't even know if we're arguing or agreeing.
We're agreeing on certain points and then disagreeing on others, which is fine. You have your own thoughts on it. I just don't think that the tank should be responsible for the fact that someone doesn't know the dungeon.
No, I think everybody should make an effort to know the dungeons themselves.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that if they don't tell you that they don't know the dungeon, they stand in front, and then you move it, and you cleave someone else in the face that knows the dungeon.
Which is exactly my
Because
point.
they weren't
If they don't
expecting
take
to
the
move it.
time to understand the dungeon, then whose fault is it? It's not the people who know the dungeon, it's the person who doesn't know the dungeon.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to say. Don't move things just because there's someone standing in front. They should be readjusting themselves.
Not if they don't know.
Then in that case, that's their own fault. Because see, when people tell me that they don't know something, I
Am
will
I
spend the time to
confused?
explain
Because
things to
this is where
people.
I don't understand if we're agreeing or arguing. Because it sounds like we're agreeing just to
Well,
argue.
you're expecting them to need to learn it, but then there's no learning opportunity because they don't tell you that they don't know it.
The learning opportunity is the first time they find out.
In that case, you need to let them be cleaved in the face.
Off with you.
That's why I love the fact that we're going back to
Watch your
Underrock.
back.
I can't fucking wait to go there and see how
That's-
many groups fail at the first fucking poll.
They just buffed it again.
Yeah,
They
right.
nerfed it, and then they nerfed it because it was too hard, and now they buffed it again. Did you see that?
No.
There was I was reading on Wowhead, and I'm like, well, why don't you just leave it the way it is? Because, I told you about this last week when they were talking. Oh, no, not you. I was talking to someone else. And, I was telling them
Yes,
that
Butters.
they keep changing things. Like, they want, the boss with the second boss in Freehold, they made it so that you only get one boss instead of rotating between 3.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Same thing they did with Jade
But-
Serpent.
Why? Because they said it was going to be too hard. That was their reasoning, that it was too hard when that was how it was when it was current content.
Except it wasn't, because when it was current content, you still ended up with 3 weeks in a row of the same boss. So they figured, why even have the RNG of what you're gonna get and just make it so everyone knows.
And that's true.
I agree with that
I'm
point
okay
in a
with
sense
that
that if you have a
reasoning.
rotation of 3 bosses and each boss fight is a little different, it changes the timer.
I'm okay with that reasoning, but their reasoning that they gave was that it was too hard.
Okay, but still, like if you throw in a rotation of 3 different bosses, they should have 3 different sets of timers. They can't use the same time frame for the same key.
That we had mythic dungeons with timers in BFA.
Glory.
Yes, but Mythic Key timers in BFA were also 7 minutes longer than what we currently have.
I expected that they were going to have a similar timer for the same dungeon.
No, I think their timing would be similar to what we have for season 1, which means you've got 7 minutes less to do freehold, which would be why it would be too hard to have the rotation of bosses.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I thought they were explaining it as it was too hard for people to memorize the mechanics.
Anyone
That's the
who's
way I
played through
took it.
BFA knows that those mechanics, like, you don't even really need to memorize for the second boss.
Yeah, that's
Their
what I'm saying.
difficulty lies in the fact that it's a 7 minute shorter timer to then have to figure out which boss you've got. Like, that's gonna fuck a lot of people up, even
It's
in like low to high.
the pre-boss thing to open cages or get a key or something like that tells you which the boss it's going to be.
Yeah, but my
I
point is,
think-
if you have to run around getting everybody drunk or run around chasing that fucking dog and you don't have a stealth, that's 7 minutes
Drunk one is-
down already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but if you're already 7 minutes down, all of those are going to be a time waste, and no one will ever clear that key.
I believe the boss that we're being left with is the one to chase the dog.
I think so. But that
Yeah,
means
they
everyone's
said
going to
it's still
prioritize having a
tracks.
stealth in the group. So, you know.
Meggz can do it himself. And also Nolo, because he's going to main his rogue, I think.
And me, because I'm also a druid.
But we also have like stealth pots, I guess.
I think them
But
just explaining it as being too hard is
That's really yeah,
explaining
was
everything that you
explaining-
just said using less words.
It is,
Well,
and it's just
But they
because
need to
Blizzard
use
is a
more
cop
words
out.
because it makes it seem like the current player base is too stupid to do 3 bosses.
You know what? They're on a budget.
Is the way it came across is that they were saying that the player base was too stupid to learn 3 different bosses.
Right. So
Well,
they just
yeah,
said
they're
it's too hard.
pandering to the lower end of the player base these days, if you haven't noticed.
Very much.
Nerfing everybody that does fucking insane damage because they know how to play their class and their fucking character is definitely pandering to the people who just want to fucking sit here and be handed everything. That's what Blizzard have been doing.
For years.
Literal fucking years.
All right, Bagheera,
Okay,
where are you?
I think I killed all of the
There you
rares that
are.
I wanted to kill because it's not coming up, and usually by now it should have.
6,000 health. Ooh, this guy's gonna be tough. And there's a mob right there. Nope, nope, nope. Ooh, that was close.
That or the population is so bad that I can't see a rare spawn.
There's no current rare spawns on the map. I just checked.
Well, I'm on a different server, and you know, I'm pretty sure that they set it up the same way as other zones, where the more people there are, the faster things spawn.
I mean, it's possible.
But that's how they set it up for, I think, Corthia? I know for sure that's how they set it up for Zereth Mortis.
Oh,
But
Bagheera,
I'm
you hurt. No, no,
like,
no, 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 no.
reset. Oh, you don't die, Meggz.
Fuck.
That or people are trying to help him.
There was only the one guy that was trying to help him. I joined a rare group. Hopefully, they have people on their server. I like how there are rare farms for this, even though you can't farm the rares. It's great. Well, I joined a rare farming group for Zeralek Caverns yesterday, and like almost the entire group was AFK and lone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's because they were waiting for very specific rares, and you know they didn't.
I am a fucking pro.
Oh look, Meggz didn't die.
You can do it, Meggz. We believe in you.
I'm just gonna
Okay,
sit
hold
over
up.
there
I
and
got a
see
fucking
maybe
neck
I've-
cramp doing that fight. I had
The
a
neck cramp.
dude. I pulled
That's
Bagheera,
what I-
and a fucking stealth panther came out of nowhere and joined in the fight. And this Bagheera already had double my health.
Oh, yeah, the big ear.
don't have roots yet.
I do, but it's I have to shapeshift out of bear form to cast it, and that
Yep.
is not a
It's
good
not
idea.
insta-cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need bear form.
Yeah. I mean, there is mass entanglement, which is instant, and I can cast it in all forms.
You have
But
that yet?
no, I'm only
Oh.
30.
Yeah, sitting here. There's someone else here waiting for the same rare. This is nice. Good news. I know for sure it hasn't spawned in a while.
That or he's both just missed it.
Oh, that's true too. But I plan to be up for another 2.5 hours anyway because I want to get my Dark Moon Fair buff and knock out a whole bunch of stuff.
True, big good time to level my ult.
Oh man.
Because I feel like I killed him this morning, but it might have been yesterday. This is why I'm like, I was telling Nolo earlier, they need a script for these rares so I know whether or not I've actually killed them.
You know, there's an add-on for that.
Yes, there is. I don't know what the add-on is.
Rare tracker, rare scanner.
No, like, because my when I used to use rare scanner would still go off even though I've already killed it.
You can. That's a setting. It's a check mark.
The Silver Dragon did that too.
Mm-hmm. I had
Pretty
silver.
sure Meggz is right. It's a check mark.
Is it?
Yep.
Because the
I
fun
have
thing
rare
about
scanner. I use rare scanner, and
Because I was using rare scanner when I was trying to get that stupid camel mount, which I've stopped doing, by the way.
there
For
was
now.
there was a point where Cam and I were just running around doing quests and things, and because we hadn't killed the rares, they were just ding, ding, ding. So I was just like, Cam, let's kill these MFers so that they would stop dinging my map. And so we did.
Why wouldn't you have? I mean, it drops stuff.
It's an achievement. We don't care about the drops. We're already over geared
King's honor, friend.
for the drops.
Go with honor, friend.
Because of appearances?
Well,
Drops
okay.
things that you can use for mods?
I can't argue that. Yeah, transmogs, yay. but still, like it's a little annoying when you are trying to get somewhere and between two flight points you get like 7 dings. You're on a flight path. Ding, 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 and I'm just like, oh my god, dude.
Well, it was more useful to scan for those things on a flight point back in the day when you didn't rezone as soon as you land, because you
Well,
can go back and kill them.
what would be helpful is if there was a check mark that said, "Do not ding your UI if you're on a flight path."
Silver Dragon has that.
So, I'm just saying.
So if you're on a flight point, you can choose to not scan for errors while you're on flight points using Silver Dragon.
Safe travels.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, fine. All right, so Zen, as soon as I kill this one last mob and I can leave Stranglethorn, I'll get to a safe spot. We can do your last. What, you need 2 mythics still?
Yeah, I think it's 2 mythics and the 5 heroic.
Yeah, I still need 5 heroics. Actually, no, I need 3 more because I got bored and I did a Ruby Life Pools heroic and I finished it in like 6 minutes.
Fucking nice.
No, I was pulling like a dick.
I mean,
lit-
look, am I surprised? No, not really.
I
Do I
started
wish you'd not be a dick to people? Yes.
I started Ruby Life Pools. I pulled the first gargantuan, whatever, the big fucking earth mob, right? I pulled him
Yeah.
all the way to the guy who charges.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Megs.
And the first earth elemental was the last mob to die.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and then I went up to the ring and I pulled 2 of the fire destroyers at the same time. And
You
then
need to be stopped.
and then after the second boss, when we went down the stairs, I pulled all of that.
I tried that,
So
but
so
Nolo killed
basically,
things before they could get together.
what, let's see. Hold on. One. Okay, including the boss pulls, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pulls. I finished Ruby Life pulls in 7 pulls.
Fucking hell.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I just didn't stop the whole time. Nolo kept killing everything, so there was no point in stopping.
Oh, hold on a second. Sister's calling. Hey,
I
sis.
couldn't even get 2 fire elementals together. I think the only time when I did my 5 dungeons and things actually got together that was painful-ish for the group was in Natharis, because I don't think the DPS could keep up, and they just left a lot of them with, I think, about 90% health. But like I told Nolo, I was only doing that because it was like the 5th dungeon we did, and it was with the same healer we did for all 5 dungeons, and I knew he could handle it because he was literally an evoker that was flying me into mobs. Before I was ready because I had no AoEs. Because I pull with, AoEs in mind, so as a paladin I need like Avengers Shield, and I need,
That Evoker wanted to get done.
Yeah, like I wasn't even moving forwards half the time. That was just him flying me forwards. But we did, 5 heroic dungeons in 25 minutes. Nolo was complaining that he couldn't keep up.
Yep, you move pretty fast. for
Yeah.
a power.
Well, it's gonna happen. I've noticed that with my rogue. That's why I got like the chain, but the chain's like not enough with the sprint. I also got the shadow step, so that I could shadow step behind mobs if they're being mass pulled like that, because otherwise you're, especially like with demon hunters and stuff like that. I like how one of these groups is called Rares All Here, but he doesn't tell us which kind of rares. Is it Forbidden Reach or is it Zerlek Caverns? He doesn't say, it's just Rares All Here.
I'll be AFK for a few minutes.
Oh, good.
So my dishwasher decided to go crazy last night. Well, it didn't decide to go crazy. I noticed a leak. Because I never noticed that it was leaking before. And then Wes is like, yeah, I noticed it before, but I haven't gotten around to it. So I'm like, well, it's leaking while I'm trying to do dishes. I thought I'd let him know because, you know, I tend to forget things. And if I don't tell him right away, I'm not gonna remember. So he had to unhook my dishwasher last night and fix it. And then this morning when I woke up and I tried to do dishes, it wouldn't power on. And apparently he'd never hooked the power back on because he was missing a piece to route to the hot water into my dishwasher. He only had the cold water hooked up because apparently the piece that puts it together into one tube, right, you can guess, or switches it or whatever it's called, had a hole in it, and that was what was causing the leak. And I'm like, well, you know, can you at least hook up the cold water so I can do dishes? So he did that, and the power was hooked up, but it wouldn't power on, so I thought the dishwasher was broken. So I texted Wes this afternoon and told him that the dishwasher wasn't powering on. He might need to buy me a new one. He said he knew he said he has a part for it, was what he texted me back. He did not elaborate, so I thought the dishwasher was broken the whole day, but apparently when it came home, he fixed it and it works now. So that's like my dishwasher journey for the last 2 days. He's also my plumber, in case you're wondering. So, you know, he does stuff like that. It's not his job, he just knows how to do it, so. I told the kids that their dad fixed the dishwasher in our leak for us, so he's gonna send us a bill, and it's gonna be for a lot of money, so I'm gonna have to sell one of them. I told them it's usually the firstborn son, so he's gonna have to go and work it off. Sounds bad, but he likes following his dad around and doing stuff like that, so. Trying to get kid one to be a little bit more handy, you can say, so that he can be less wasteful. Because, you know, current generations are all about, it's broken, I'll throw it away. And buy a new one.
That's only because the things that are made these days aren't made to fucking last.
Yeah, but if you can fix it, you should. And so, since it was just a leak, you don't need to replace, like, my entire sink. My sink's not the problem. It was just a little piece. But like for other people, they might have just called the plumber for that, and that would have cost a lot of money. I don't know how much money it is in Australia. But like even in Canada and well here in the United States, it's really, really expensive to call a plumber for things like that.
It's expensive to call anybody to do anything.
Well, I'm just saying that he's not just going to charge you for coming and looking at it. He's gonna charge you for the part, and there's gonna be an upcharge on that, and he's gonna charge you to replace the part. Those are all different things on the invoice.
Yeah, and they are exactly what I would expect from somebody who is doing their job.
But in the past, we're talking about like even in the 70s. I'm not that old, but I know this for a fact because my godfather could do this kind of stuff. He knows how to like, it was normal for a man to know how to, for example, change a tap. Yeah, so if your faucet is broken, you change the faucet. That's normal for you to know that.
Yeah, but why is it also not normal for a woman to know that?
No, I mean like, you know, like I don't know how to change one, but I also had no one to teach me how to do one. I had no father figures. But I'm saying that it's not normal that people don't know how to change a faucet now. Not just women can't do it,
it's kind of normal in the sense of there are people who specifically learn how to do these things so they can do it.
True, but I mean, like, it was normal for you to, it's common knowledge, is what I'm saying.
But there were also less people in the industry back then. There were only a few people who knew how to do it, otherwise it was people who learned by trial and error.
You don't need specialized tools to do it anymore either.
Exactly.
What, to change a faucet? Yeah, I know, I watched Wes change my faucet. I'm like, well, that's really easy. He's like, yeah, it's just, you know, this, and this. Like, for example, when he made the new front porch and the back porch, he said back in the day, like when I've been talking about a long time, it was like even 10 years ago, you would have to buy the 2x4s and build the, you know, how you put in the stairs, you need to build all that, and then you can put in the stairs. But now it's already carved out. You just buy the different parts you need. Like he put together my back porch in like 2 days. I have one of those really, really huge back decks, so you know, it not only in the back, it's also like wraps around like a part of the side of the house. And he did all of that in 2 days. I think it took him, the fastest he's done something, he built an entire kitchen, so he tore it down, and he rebuilt it and he rewired it in 3 days. 3 days. And I'm like, that's really fast. How do you build a kitchen that fast? He showed me the before and after pictures too. He's not shy about showing that stuff off. It's like his side job. He shows people and then they're like, hey, that's really nice. Can you do this for me? So like our neighbor wants him to build a doghouse for them. Our neighbor across the street wants him to redo their fence. All of our neighbors have seen the porches and now they want the porches too.
What's everybody doing now? Ready to run some keys? I've had about all
I'm
this.
just sitting here and seeing whether or not the spirit's gonna appear.
I think we're just waiting for Meggz to get through Stranglethorn at the moment.
No, he's on a phone call with his sister. He said his sister called.
Yeah, but before his sister called, he was still on Stranglethorn, so I'm assuming he still has to get through Stranglethorn.
As long as it's in a safe place, I would log off my tune anywhere. But I mean, that's with a tune that actually has gear. He's wearing, you know, white and gray gear. I'd put him in a safer place.
Did my game just crash?
If it did, I know WoW is still up because I'm still sitting here in Zeralak Caverns.
Oh yeah, no, my whole game's just shut the bed.
Boy, I just looked at the cooking. Finally looked at cooking, and wow, that's just as complicated as every other profession.
Well, it's easy to max out, and there's no points, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
The same with fishing.
There was no points here.
None of the secondary professions have points, which, you know, is disappointing
But-
because I thought that.
All the professions will give you bricks. But I just got 5 bricks from doing the cooking one. And I just bought the shit on the auction house and gave it to them.
Yeah, I went ahead and just
Sweet.
made them because I have the patterns.
All right, I am back.
I hope your sister didn't have anything.
No, we had to go over my dad's
exciting
life
happen.
insurance policy for the claims benefit. And apparently he left me some money.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like $20 million.
How does that work? I mean, you know, your mom's still alive. I thought she would automatically be.
Well, no, in his
Privy to that.
in his will, he had left a comment on how much to divvy out.
Ah, after your mom passes away.
No.
No, the
Hey,
will dictates it
understand.
doesn't matter who the beneficiary is when they die. If in their will they state that someone gets a specific thing, they get that thing, not the subsidiary.
Yeah.
That's what I was confused about. Is
So,
you know,
uh,
I only
unle-
understand how it works in the Chinese culture.
So the good news and the bad news of it is the last recorded last will and testament that my dad had put in place was before my youngest sister was born. So
Oh, that sucks.
it's only got my mom, my one of my 2 sisters and myself. So she's like, son of a bitch, how come I wasn't included, blah 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 blah. And I'm not greedy. I'll get I'll get some of this money. I'll probably get a lump sum, and I'll share a portion of it with my sister. Because I think it's just an oversight. My dad did love my little sister a
He
lot.
100% just wouldn't have had time to go and get it done. Like,
Yeah. I don't think my dad was malicious. I mean, if anything, he favored my younger sister or youngest sister very much. She's the sweetheart of the family. So, as far as I'm concerned, like, we're all entitled to this money. So it just comes down to what my other sister and my mother got. And if they're not going to share any of the money, well, fuck them. I'm sharing it with my sister because I love her. I love her lots.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, she's okay with it.
I thought it would be like your mom would have control over all of the assets until she passes away, and then you would get to read the will after she passes away on what your parents wanted jointly as something that they decided together for their.
Well, you're adding to the conversation, and I appreciate it as always.
No, I mean I
but
thought that's how it would work because
it
like
doesn't
Tima
though.
said it's not how it works for you guys.
If I died, then it would go down to my remaining sister and my mother, and if my mom died, it would all go to the remaining sister.
You wrote a will for this?
No, it's just
No, that's just how it works.
yeah.
Oh, is that like how it works legally?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. See, when my grandfather passed away in 1989, all of the assets that they had in their marriage went automatically to my grandma. And then after she passed away, then they divvied up the assets according to what my grandma and my grandpa decided together when they were still alive.
Possibly, maybe that's how it works.
No, I'm
It
explaining
tears down.
that's how it works in like the Chinese culture. I'm just explaining how that works in that because this is different from how I expected it to work. I gotta talk to Wesley basically. Because I talked to him about writing out a will so that, in the untimely demise of both of us, then they know what to do with our stuff and who's supposed to take care of the kids and all that stuff. But I mean, I don't know how that would work if
you
he
can
passes away
have
before I do.
you can have joint responsibility when it comes to like that, but you can also have a separate one. So you and whoever you're with don't necessarily own everything together. Like there will be things that you own separately, there will be things that they own separately.
Nope.
There will. No, but what I'm saying is most people do. Not everybody shares fucking everything.
I'm like, nope, we share everything.
So
I even make the joke. I'm
when
like, he signed it in his contract. Everyone knows about it.
either which way, it means when that person dies, everything that is not under the joint venture of the two people is what can be divvied up beyond kids, fucking brothers, sisters, whatever, when they pass. But that is explicitly written in that person's will. They can't then say, they get half of like my half of everything, because that's what's just going to happen with your fucking partner, right? But if it comes down to it where it's like, say, for example, you own the car is fully in your name and you pass, you leave that car for somebody else, not your husband or wife or whatever, because that's what you are legally allowed to do with your will, because that is your sole property. Anything that is sole property can be left to another person in your singular will.
Interesting. Yeah, Wes and I had the conversation. He said the car is mine.
But you don't
Exactly.
drive.
No, I don't. But the car is still mine. The house is still mine.
Sounds like that's getting liquidated.
Well, I told him that if he dies and I'm still alive, I'm selling everything and I'm moving back to Canada.
In a way, that can
Taking the
also
money
be
and rent it.
done because the car classes as an asset. So if you were to go apply to buy a house or something somewhere else, or even like for a rental, you could use that car as like leverage and an asset to prove that you would have funds if required to pay. Because that's
true.
what they use cars as and stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not flying a car back to Canada.
Cars don't fly yet.
No, but
Yeah.
you can't put them in a box and ship them.
I
You
mean,
can put it on a boat and ship them without the box too.
True. But we're on different coasts from where my mom is and where his mom is. So, like his brother, all of his family's on the other coast. All of my family's on the other coast, except for like I think a few, which is just north of where I am. But like, I'm pretty sure I don't want to live near them or with them. Wow, this rare does not want to spawn. I've been here for a while. How long have I been here?
What one are you looking for?
Well, let's see. The rare's name is Karot, or whatever. Karokta. It's the one that drops a mount in Zaralak Caverns, and I want to make sure I
Okay.
actually killed him today.
Terracotta.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many of these
I
things
killed him
that's
earlier
hard
today.
to say. Anyways, um, I know I killed him yesterday. I have memory of killing him. I just don't remember if that was this morning or last night. And that's the problem. So I'm like, did I kill him already or did I not? Because I might have killed him before I started writing everything down on my notepad.
I'm
Because I
gonna
only started
say,
doing that
if
this
he hasn't
evening.
appeared since you've been playing, you probably killed him already.
Most likely. I mean, I've been in Zaralek Caverns for like the last 3 hours.
I can fly now, Nolo.
It's a.
Yay.
Are you allowed to fly?
Yeah,
Probably not.
He said,
probably.
yeah. I mean, I just don't know if he's allowed to fly in the old world because, you know, it makes sense. I'm like, you can fly, but only in Dragon Isles or something like that as a stipulation.
No, it said all mounts and flying. It's legit.
Finally, I get to leave this fucking cabin.
All
Well,
right.
that's all I wanted to kill, so I'm leaving the caverns too.
You ready for this, Nolo?
Sure.
What are you planning to do?
I am going to go check my standings. And if I did this right, I should be like rank 15. I've been updated.
Huh, there are new rocks.
I am rank 15, Nolo.
That's me.
Oh shit. Someone's working it right now. I was right behind Iron Woman, and now she's 36. Oh, she died! Oh!
She died?
She died.
Well,
Yeah,
isn't that good for you?
Well, yeah, that means she has to start over. I'm still alive. I still have a green flag. So I have a green flag, and let's see. 32 would put me at rank 14. I get to 37, I'll be rank 12. And it looks like, yeah, some of these people died. One person died at 67, one person died at 60, another person died at 54, another person got red flagged at 50.
Okay. Red flag would mean they were cheating, right?
Well,
Or they did something they weren't supposed to.
exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, technically cheating then.
No.
Well, no, it just means it's outside the rules of the Iron Challenge.
Yeah. Cheating would be if you got help killing mobs and rares and elites and stuff. You know, or boosting your character.
Isn't that too obvious though, where you're just all of a sudden hit all the levels in
I
one day?
almost want to find out how this person got red flagged. I think this is the person who used a potion. Oh, their character got deleted.
Well, yeah, they're gonna make a new character with the same name.
Oh, let's see.
I decided against that. I decided to go Iron Nolo 3, Iron Nolo 4. That's where I'm at.
I am done with the Iron Meggz thing. I'm gonna let some of that rested XP build up. Oh, I had a good run today. And now I'm gonna jump onto a character where I can do all the things.
So here, question:
All the things.
what can you get with the dig maps?
From what I was told, a lot of
have to
stuff,
do the
including
digs.
gear. You talking about the puzzles,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, the puzzles. But
Yeah.
Wes got a piece of gear out of it, yeah.
Can you get mounts or anything?
I don't know. But you can check. I mean, don't they have a guide for it or something?
I just wondered if anybody knew, like Arceus.
I've done the tutorial dig and that's it.
Arceus is like an invaluable resource about all things WoW and most things not WoW. Well, I'm at 13 bricks and I've done everything I can think of.
Events are weekly, so you're definitely gonna want to do the events. Rares are daily.
Oh, I
for
haven't done
reset.
any events. I'm not gonna do events.
You're gonna get the bricks out of events the most. Rares don't drop bricks,
I have
and
more bricks than
chests
you,
don't
and
drop.
I haven't done one of them.
Really? Oh, because you opened the bags.
Well, so
Because that's where they drop, out of the bags. And I have like
I got
I did a full circle. Oh my god.
I got 5 bricks from doing the cooking quest, and I got 5 bricks from doing the engineering quest. And if there was a fucking skinning quest, I would have done it, but I can't fucking find one.
I didn't turn in my profession quest yet.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess you got more than.
See you there, buddy.
Like I said, I'm saving it for rep.
I'm sure I'll get around to doing events sometime, but not right now. Not when anybody's clamoring around.
Man, this warlock is not keeping up. You know how I usually just keep going? Well, I've stopped periodically so that everyone else can catch up in this time walking dungeon. And the warlock's doing 83 DPS.
You know, that's all scaled, dude.
Off with you.
Well, I mean, he's in the room. He's DPSing. It's just he's doing a lot less DPS. I wonder why. He is whatchamacallit, the Demolock.
They can't join our group.
You're already in a group, Zen?
I'm just doing the web boss.
Ah.
Oh, is there a new world boss? Like in the cavern?
Yeah, I think.
No, I was doing
Yeah.
Basilicorn
Yeah, the new one, the old one.
because it gives you the
Yes, the
new rewards.
The well playing shards.
Yeah.
I wonder if, yeah, okay, that makes sense, but I wonder why they didn't put a new world
You can
boss
invite me
in.
now,
Maybe
mate.
it'll come next week.
It's probably gonna come out next week
Yeah.
when the season starts.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll run
What are you running?
something that gives valor.
Well, okay, so quick question. Do we want to do the heroics first, or do we want to do mythics?
I'd
Well,
rather get heroics out of the way first.
I've done the heroics already, so you guys can go ahead and do those while and I'll
YOLO?
come with mythics because I'm already in a dungeon right now, and instead of waiting for me.
Heroics?
Yeah, I guess I could swap for heroics.
Okay.
I mean,
Just
I can
because that
go to
way
the
we
next
get all the
heroic.
fidgety stuff out of the way first, we can get everything done and then buckle down and get the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen to be like last night. Like by the end of the heroics, we'll be all tired, and then we'll try to do like a 10 or something. Or we'll be like a 15, and we'll be like, "Oh, what's going on in here?" And everybody's doing stupid shit because they're tired.
Well, I think now that we know that they're scaled to season 2, we shouldn't actually have that problem.
Right.
Whereas we all thought, oh yeah, it'll just be like a normal fucking.
We'll crush
It's a normal
this.
12, it'll be fine. Well, we got it. And then we just get our fucking asses flogged.
Fuck yeah. That was a fucking wake up call, wasn't it?
Are you telling me that when I healed that 12 on my druid, it was in season 2 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like a 15.
Yeah. No lie.
No lie.
I fucking love your character's name. No,
Shampoopy.
just
Kinda like
makes
it,
me
too.
giggle.
Alright. Do we need any more time? Everybody ready?
No, I'm good.
Oh no, I need to reset some talents here
Okay.
so I can do DPS.
Just let me know when you're ready, bro. Oh.